Hello everyone, this is H.M.O.C. and I just want to say thank you to all my old subscribers and welcome my new subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload videos. Today we are in the soap studio and we are going to be making hot process soap. So we usually make just about 3 different scents of hot process soap, and today it's going to be lemongrass. So let's get started. So today I'm going to be doing a hot process soap. I have my crock pot here. I have my liquid oils and butters in here. I have it on low. So I'm just gonna go in and add my lye water. I'm actually gonna add my bentonite clay first. So this is my bentonite clay, and in it goes. And then I'm going to just whiz this up a little bit, just to make sure that clay is all incorporated. Now we used to do 3 hot process soaps, now we're only doing 2, which is kind of great because I only have 2 crock pots. So I'm doing lemongrass and we do eucalyptus tea tree in hot process. And I am going to just pour my lye water in. It doesn't really matter what temp it is because it all is hot. So for hot process it doesn't really matter, so I don't even bother to take the temp on it. And this can fit 2 batches, but for the sake of this video and me getting this done, I'm just doing 1. And I'm just gonna mix it in and we're gonna bring this to a heavy trace. So let's get on with it. Okay, so now I've taken it. This is probably about a medium to heavy trace. Sort of like pudding consistency, and that's where you want it because you don't want it separating on you while you cook this. And you will cook it on low. I have my crock pot on low for an hour. Once you get it to the trace, you want to leave it. I don't stir it. Some people stir it, some people don't. I'm one of those that do not stir them. And I just want to make sure it's nice. This is kind of almost too liquidy. I'm going to take it a little further than what it is right now. It's not quite where I want it. And I will show you the consistency where I want it. And then we're going to time it for an hour and just let it be. Okay, so I have it at my nice thick to medium trace. And I'm going to set my timer for an hour. It's on low. I haven't super fetted this, and I also haven't put my essential oil in. I will do that at the end. And yes, can you see that? How thick it is? You want it on the thick side, like I said, like pudding, so it doesn't separate on you. So what I'm gonna do now is just put the top on and set my timer for an hour, and I'm going to be near it because actually this won't, but maybe if I was doing a double batch it could cook over on you and then you would stir it down. I have had that happen to me once, and that's it. In all the years I've been doing this, once it started bubbling, I could see it coming up to the top, so I actually just stirred it down. So this is it. Just set this, set your top on it, and you're ready to go. That's it. An hour, and you'll be ready for the next step.
1 hour later.
Okay, so this is what it looks like after an hour of cooking. I'm just gonna take my spatula and stir it in. This is basically all I'm going to do. I'm going to turn it off and let it cool down before I super fat it and add my essential oil. So let it cool down for maybe, I don't know, 10-15 minutes or so. because I don't want to scorch my butter or my essential oil. Just stir everything in and just let it sit. So I'll come back when this is cooled down. About 15 minutes and it's cooled down ever so slightly. Not a lot, but I feel enough to start my super fat, which is, this is what this is. I'm gonna get that in there. Make sure I get every single last drop. And I'm just gonna mix that in. As you can see, it is still quite hot. And once that is mixed all in and melted, I am going to add in my essential oil. This is an essential oil soap. And then I'm going to change up the design again, because usually I just leave it like this. This is the color I usually do it. I'm actually going to add a bit of color into this batch and see how it goes, because like I always say, I'm always changing and revamping and just basically fine-tuning, I will say, the designs and different things of my soaps. So this one, I am changing up the design. The actual recipe and everything is the same from day one, the first time I ever made this soap. It works, so I'm not going to change that. So that butter is pretty much melted in, and I'm going to add in my essential oil, and that's basically what this is. Just pour it all in there. I put my essential oil in because I'm scenting the whole soap, obviously, but the colorant I'm actually just putting in a part of the soap, and I'll show you how I do that once I get this mixed in. Mixed in, my super fat is mixed in, and I am basically ready for my colorant, making sure all the bottoms are scraped up, the sides, everywhere, and everything is incorporated really well before I mix in my colorant, because once I mix in my colorant, I don't want to do any aggressive mixing. So I want to make sure everything's mixed now before I add in my colorant. So one final scrape down the sides, at the bottom, make sure everything's mixed. And what I do is, I just say, what is that, a third of the soap? This color is gonna be yellow. So I just mix a well in there, and then I have my colorant right here that I've mixed with a little bit of olive oil reserve from the recipe. And I just basically mix it in. It's going to be a subtle hint of yellow. It's not going to be in your face yellow. That's what I want. Just a little subtle hint of yellow in there. And as you can see, it's a subtle hint. So once I get that all mixed up, it's time to go into the mold. Okay, so I have my yellow mixed up. I did mix a little bit more yellow to go in here because it wasn't quite the color I wanted. So all I do is just basically stir the color into the base color. And this is going to be sort of my in the pot swirl. And as you can see, it's quite abstract swirl, we'll call it. So basically that's it. That's all I do. So I set this to the side, bring in my mold, and this is the mold I use, my smaller one. And literally I just basically plop it in there. Nothing scientific to this or anything. Sometimes I try to move the soap around, like say if I'm not kind of happy with the swirl, I'll just move it in, like if it's a lot of yellows in one place or something like that. And I'll basically just move it around once I have it in the mold itself. And then it just basically is not that hard. It's nothing really intricate about this hot process soap that I make. I don't know about anybody else's and all that other stuff that came out a couple of years ago about the one that you could swirl hot. But this is how I do it, so it's worked for me all these years, and I'm going to continue with it. So just going to get this into the mold, and that will basically be it. Okay, so it is done, and this is basically what it looks like. Very soft. I do mound it up. If I can turn it to the side. I broke down and ordered my new molds, but they haven't come yet, even though it's been quite a while. I did check the website.
Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and click that notification bell to be notified when I upload videos. Thanks again and have a great day.